pilgrimage. I have friends whose names are on the wall. I go down there to view those friends and to relive the good times and the bad. Once I got there, it wasn't difficult. It's a little overwhelming, but it was just getting here that was the effort, or making the choice to get here.
We all have our lives since Vietnam, and this is our way of coming back and getting in touch with the guys that didn't come back with us. We all have people on the wall that we know, and it's a very private time when we go. You'll find that this weekend particularly there's a lot of people in town for this, but the wall is probably busiest between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. People want to come by themselves and just visit with some of their friends that they left behind.
Last year was my first ride up here with Rolling Thunder. It was my first trip to the wall, first time I'd ever faced the wall. And I stood behind it about 45 minutes before I could face it. When I did, you know, I lost it. It was just an emotional time. And the whole time I was up here, it was an emotional roller coaster.
Well, everybody has their own tears for their own reasons. It's not all the same. Everybody has their own interpretation of what they see, what they hear, what they observe, and what takes place. And different things set people off at different intervals and at different times into relationship with what they experience. It's very emotional. It took me years before I went to the wall. And when I did go, you know, I mean, I cried just like a lot of other people cried. I got a friend of mine over there, David A. Curtis, died in '69, and he was the only one out of us from high school that went to Vietnam. There's about a dozen of us that went to Vietnam, and he's the only one that didn't come back. So I went there the first time, and then after that, because it was so emotional for me, and I like to be by myself. So when I go there now, I go at what we call old dark 30 in the morning, where there's nobody around. I can say what I want to say, I can do what I want to do, and I don't have to worry about somebody. Because sometimes you get over there and people interrupt you. They want to, oh, can I talk to you? I didn't come over here for that. I come over here to talk with my buddy that's on the wall that I haven't seen in 40 goddamn years. And so I want my own time.
The whole thing is very emotional, especially to a lot of us that served and the mothers and fathers of those that died. And, you know, somebody like Nancy Sinatra here, where she spent many years over Vietnam entertaining us, bringing a little bit of home to us. And that helped, you know. And I thank her for that. She really, some people like Nancy Sinatra did a lot for the American troops. And we had nobody else, you know, especially during Vietnam. Our government didn't want us, and people in the country were split in half like the Civil War. And we had each other, and that was it.
Well, there is a slogan that I really like. We'll leave it alone when they're all brought home.
The Rolling Thunder itself is based on the MIAs and the POWs, the ones that still are not accounted for, and that's what we're really out here for. We want to make sure that that's never forgotten in anybody's minds, that there's still POWs out there, somewhere there's still MIAs out there, and we want to make sure that each and every one of them is accounted for. It's about accountability. We want to make sure that our government remains to continue to be accountable for those people who are still out there and who we can't find yet or haven't been found yet.
Well, Matt Maupin, for one, in particular, and I mean, yeah, there are still guys in Iraq that are definitely, why we can't get them, I don't know. You know, you find Saddam in a spider hole, but we can't find our own guys in a POW camp or whatever they're in somewhere. It's ridiculous to me.
Just to walk over here and walk through and spend some time and walk through the memorials themselves and look at those names on the wall and think about it when you think of the words, you know, freedom is on the Korean memorial is freedom is not free. It means a lot. It means a lot. It makes you think, what have we given or what have you given, you know, to make your country free. And that's what makes me serve. That's what makes me proud to have served. And that's what makes me proud for those guys that's over there in Iraq right now.
I don't really foresee all the POW MIAs from Vietnam coming home. And then you take the first Gulf War, Scott Spiker's there, never returned. They're talking about changing his classification to presumed dead, or, you know, missing, not coming home, or, you know, body not recoverable. Then you have from this war a young guy named Matt Maupin.
That's heartbreaking that he's locked up somewhere.
He was captured by these Iraqi insurgents, and of course they showed a video of them shooting him, but the video was so bad nobody could tell. And you know, he's listed as missing captured, and that's not acceptable to us. We want him labeled POW MIA so that he's in conjunction with the Geneva Convention. And there is no official language in the United States government for POW MIA to be assigned to a soldier or a military person who has been captured, and once it's determined that they have been captured. They list them as missing and captured. They assume the designation of POW MIA, but it's not official. So this year we're down here pushing that too with a petition. We were told if we get 100,000 signatures and take it to the Hill, something will be done about it. So we're pushing that petition to have that official language changed to POW MIA. And the government flies POW MIA flags all over Washington, D.C. 7 major holidays a year, and they're flying today. The government has offices, Department of Missing Persons and POW MIA. They have all these offices, but they don't have any language to officially declare them.